That early morning, our first day in the village on our visit to Kenya in March of 2012, the Lord had already prepared my heart. And as Randy stood on that little trail, waved his hands in a motion as if surveying the land, he said, "Carrie, I don't know what God is doing exactly, but I just keep seeing a place where men and women can learn about Jesus, hear his word, and learn to share and teach it to others." Fast forward with me to September 2014. After God had revealed himself to a few drunkards, took them out of the pit, set them on a rock as new creations, they began to tell others. Well, we quickly found ourselves needing a place to learn, to worship, to fellowship. So we moved out our car, swept the garage, and had church. Each week for the next 16 months, we filled that car park Kanisa, worshiped and sought the face of our God. Then early in 2016, Nick, one of our church members, asked Randy to walk with him. They went up the trail, and standing in front of an overgrown banana and maize field, Nick says, "I just bought this from my uncle and I want to give it to the church." That's pretty cool, right? But do you want to know what's really amazing? It was the exact same spot that Randy had waved his hand over 4 years earlier. Oh God. That night after prayer and communion, our little fellowship walked up and praised the Lord and prayed that he would use that land for his glory. Everyone started working, clearing the land. The men proudly began constructing a pole barn of such, a wood and chicken wire building with an iron sheet roof, plastic for windows, and a sawdust floor. We have gathered there for 2.5 years. We've had discipleship classes, Bible study, worship nights, movie nights with the Jesus film in 3 different languages. We've had church picnics, community meetings, study hall, men's conference, women's conferences, vacation Bible school, and many one-on-one times in the Word. It has been well used, and in that use, God has grown us in the knowledge of him, in our love for his word, and for others. And just as we began to outgrow that space, God began to lead us in building a new place to meet. In Exodus, when the tabernacle was being built, God told Moses that he would fill his chosen workers with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of skill and workmanship. And that's what he's done here in Kababe. Randy sketched it out. The land was leveled, and as God provided for the next step, the footer and foundation was laid. He would provide for the next step, and the pillars went up. Then the walls, then the windows and door frames. With each step, we would pray for him to provide for us to continue, and then we would see the trusses go up, the iron sheets, the plaster, and then on Sunday, January 13th, 4 years and 4 months after our first service in our car park Kanisa, we had our first service in our new building. It happened to also be our picnic Sunday, so we thanked God. We thanked him for all of you that continue to respond to his leading and supporting us. We thanked him for provision and celebrated his goodness, as we know every good and perfect gift comes from him. We still have the floor to put in. The office, library, and storeroom need to be finished and a ceiling put in. We need to put glass in the window frames, run electricity, build church benches and shelving for our study hall library. We're not finished, but we are praying and waiting on the Lord. And as we wait, as he builds our faith, we will be right here praising him.